1.5 years ago, there was a small French company doing a presentation online on the CCC that they were implementing a backup mechanism and they wanted to implement a plugin. Fast forward a couple of presentations. 1.5 weeks ago, they just submitted a PR. So we're very glad that soon we'll have a Backroll plugin in the backup and recovery framework. Please welcome the guys from DIMSI.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining this talk about Backroll. Let me introduce myself. My name is Pierre. I'm working at DIMSI as a senior developer, and I'm working on C# and Java project. I'm also in charge of Backroll integration inside CloudStack. And when I'm not behind my keyboard, I love giving some soft lessons to my colleagues on the lunch break.
Hello, my name is Ousmane. I have been working for DIMSI for 2 years. I'm a C# and Python developer. I work mainly on Backroll side. When I'm not working, I'm a part of a basketball association as a member and as a player.
Hi, I'm Matthias, and I've been working for DIMSI for 6 months. And it's not working. Yeah, sorry, I'm Matthias. I've been working for DIMSI for 6 months as a C# and JavaScript developer, and I love playing with Docker. So I'm in charge of the integration of the various Backroll components. So after a brief presentation of our company, we will tell you all what you need to know about the Backroll products. So both the standalone Backroll and the CloudStack plugin. And then we will share you what the newest features in Backroll and in the plugin also. And then we will see what's planned for the few next months with the Backroll project. And at the end, of course, we will answer your questions.
So DIMSI was founded in 2006. We have 3 offices in France, in Paris, Lorient, and Lyon. We also present in Hong Kong. We have three domains of expertise: Power Platform with Dataverse, Power Apps, and Power BI. Cloud and Service with Jenkins, Jenkins, Azure, and CloudStack. We also provide apps built with different technology like .NET, Angular, React, and Python.
Okay, so what is Backroll? Backroll is an open source backup solution for the KVM hypervisor, and it comes with a modern web UI for technical and non-technical user, and it's backed by a RESTful API, and this API also serves the CloudStack plugin. And the many components of the API are containerized for a better integration. So the main feature of Backroll are so backup and restore of VM, and also of pools of VM. And so you can trigger this operation manually whenever you want, but you can also schedule this task. And to avoid any concurrency issues, there is a lock system for each VM. And once you have all your backups on your storage, you can implement retention and cleaning policies with Backroll. And so this operation can also be triggered on a shutdown virtual machine. So it's a plus in a Backroll. And all these operations are traced in an history. And there's also some webhook notifications. So your systems can be plugged on this notification to know what's happening in Backroll.
Now I will tell you how Backroll works. So as you can see, we divided our application in different containers in Docker. Each one has its own utility. We use front-end craft with Vue.js that allows us to create a dynamic and user-friendly interface for managing virtual machine backups and restore. User can easily configure, monitor, and review historical of backups and restore through an intuitive dashboard. For the REST API, we use Fast API and Celery. In Python, Fast API is a fast web framework for building API with Python, serve as a backbone of our backend. It seamlessly integrates with our chosen task queue, Celery, to handle the asynchronous execution of tasks. When a task is initiated through the API, our system follow a robust workflow. First, a task is created and stored in Redis, which acts as a message broker for Celery. The front-end receives immediately a callback to indicate the task is pending. This asynchronous approach ensures that application may remain responsive even during resource-intensive backup process. The actual task is then delegated to Celery worker. This worker operates in a Docker container within an isolated network, enhancing security and encapsulation. Upon completion of the task, whether it's a success or encounter an error, the status is updated in Redis. The front end throws a simple request to retrieve and display the final status of the data. This real-time feedback loop provides user with immediate visibility to outcome their operation. To enhance the automation of our backup system, we use Redbit, an extension for Celery that facilitate the creation and execution of recurring task. This allows us to define policy and schedule, answering backup and perform systematically. Answering backup are performed systematically and according to a specified interval.
To go deeper in the backup process, one important thing to understand is that Backroll is just a backup file manager. Backroll doesn't do the restore or backup task on its own. We use tools to do it. So for instance, we use libvirt to interact with KVM, and we use Borg, which is a deduplicated backup program to manage the backup. So after pre-flight check, we are creating a snapshot with Virch, and after, for each VM disk, we check if there is a template file or backing file, and if it has been saved. If not, we do the save process, and then we create an archive with Borg, and then we just have to block commit changes and to remove a snapshot file. We also use Borg to in the delete archive process with the retention. We can define the retention in Backroll, so depending on the settings defined in Backroll configuration, we can remove the archive files. Does Backroll works with CloudStack? Yes, it does. We wanted to be able to use Backroll directly inside CloudStack. So if you were at a previous CloudStack event in London or in Sofia last year, you may know that we created our own plugin using the backend restore framework provided by CloudStack. So this framework gives us the possibility to implement some methods to allow CloudStack and Backroll to interact with each other. So that's what we did, and that's what we are working on to provide the best user experience. What are we able to do with the plugin? So far, this is the key features. The first one is the configuration. We have to configure the plugin in order to use Backroll. So we had some settings in CloudStack configuration. We have to set URL of Backroll backend API, and you have to put a token in order to authenticate the communication. And you have to choose Backroll as your backup provider inside CloudStack. And when it's done, you can use all these features. So you can create a backup offering. You can assign a virtual machine to this backup offering. You can trigger a backup on the shutdown virtual machine or not. And then you can get the backup status. You can delete backups. We also manage the backup synchronization between Backroll and CloudStack. So if you do backups on Backroll side, it will be also visible in CloudStack UI. And if you do, that's it. And we also provide some metrics retrievals. And now we are going to present our latest work on Backroll. So what are the news? We will first start with Backroll, and then we will do a focus on the plugin. So since the last event, we have done a lot of testing, and as you may know, the more you test, the more you find issues. So we found a couple of ones. The first one, we found an issue with the rendering of backup and restore task in the Backroll UI. We find we retrieve the task from the backend, so this is JSON. We found JSON interpretation error, so sometimes task was not displayed at all, which is kind of a problem, so we fixed it. And now we can see all the tasks correctly. We also improved 2 features that we presented last time in London, the backup and restore of a virtual machine managed by CloudStack. Because when a virtual machine is shut down, it fully disappears from the Backroll and KVM context. So we have to make an API call from Backroll to CloudStack to retrieve some information. mandatory information in order to do the task. And this is this entire process that we have to refactor, or to do some refactoring to clean some little issue, and now it's fully working, and this is more efficient, at least.
So let's talk about a new feature. The first one we work on it is the installation process. Since the beginning, we use Docker to simplify the installation process, but we want to do more and make it even easier. Some people have informed us about encountering issue during the installation process, the installation of Backroll, and many of them were unable to install it successfully. In response, we decided to create a simplified installation process. To achieve this, we modify some configuration file, such as Docker Compose and environment file to enable deploying in a few steps. To do this, we create an install.sh file available on our GitHub. This file executes all of the necessary steps to install Backroll. We also adapt this file for other operating systems.
We also developed another feature. We developed another kind of restore, a restore to a specific path. This is a process that we were already doing in our company, but manually. So we decided to integrate it directly into Backroll. And this is a really useful feature if you want to copy a virtual machine to another storage, another place, or if you want to restore a virtual machine, even if it's already deleted. We based our algorithm on the folder present on the storage. So if you get the file, we can restore the virtual machine. Now a focus on news about the plugin. Just like for Backroll, we have done a lot of testing. So we did some improvements. The first one concerned the synchronization of backup between CloudStack and Backroll. We found an issue, and this issue is that when you shut down the VM and its backup disappear from the context. So when the plugin will ask Backroll for some backup status, the backups will be not found, and then the backups will be tagged as removed in CloudStack. So far it's okay, and it's quite logical, but the problem was when you power on the virtual machine, the status of the backups still are still tagged as removed. So we fix it, and our synchronization process now can handle correctly this case. And the second is the restore of a virtual machine. I don't know if you remember, but in London we presented this feature, and we still had an issue. That was that even if the task was well triggered and well executed in Backroll, we still have error notification in CloudStack UI. And we finally fix it, and now it's fully working. So we can do a restore from the plugin, which is really great. And another feature is that we realized that we did not implement the virtual machine removal from backup offering, which is a method provided by the framework. So we worked on it, and we are now able to handle it. So we can now, if you remove the virtual machine from the backup offering, we can trigger some task, and especially we can delete the backup in Backroll. And the great news, but Dan already tell it. We finally have done the pull request, so we are very enthusiastic, and we hope that the plugin will be soon available for everyone.
So now we will see what's planned for the future of the project. So first, you will be able to define the multiple backup policies for a sample and activate or deactivate them when you need. And because a backup can be read-only, because you only write once, it's immutable. So we can implement a write once and read multiple on it, so that your data can be encrypted by a ransomware, for example. So the warm backup will be a security improvement. And then we have currently a discussion about identity management. So we'll improve the identity and logging in Backroll. And finally, at the conference in London, the idea of file level restore came up. So for the moment, we have a first successful try, but there's still a lot of work to do. But this is the first step towards this new feature. And about the community, we will launch a dedicated website to grow a community, and if you want to become a committer, you're welcome to participate in the project. And finally, in the future, we will provide support for enterprise. So that's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I have a couple of questions online. I see one hand, so I'll do that first, and then I'll go read the questions online.
Thank you, guys. Amazing work. Thanks. Could maybe the process you implemented for backing up shutdown VMs help for backing or to implement that for Ceph as well? Because currently you are using the Virtual snapshot, which does not work with Ceph, unfortunately. So I think you're using NFS storage mostly for your, yeah. Could maybe the shutdown method or the method you're using for shutdown VMs help with Ceph as well? Let's double check.
I think the guys are coming back to you offline.
Yeah.
So a couple of questions online as well. Alexander first. Let me make my own summary of the question. How about multi-tenancy for Backroll in CloudStack? How is that implemented? Is it implemented? How, or are there plans for that?
Yeah, no. Right now there is no plan for a multi-tenancy, but I guess you might deploy multiple Backroll containers. I guess one per tenant, because so far it's I think you can only add one CloudStack deployment on your Backroll instance, so no multi-tenancy here at the moment.
I think there's also plans to make the backup and recovery zone or cluster or domain dependent.
In fact, in the standalone Backroll, you can connect on the hypervisor you want. So You can connect with multiple hypervisor in Backroll in the standalone version. So I think it's possible.
A question that I don't completely understand. Ashkan is asking, does rollback have a method in the backup scenario for rollback? So does Backroll have a method in the backup scenario for rollback? And I think what he means is while backing up, something goes wrong, and then what happens? But okay, there's no comment there. No comment, guys. I'll go to the next question. I don't really understand it. Is there support for live machine backing up? Yes. This is all for live machines?
Yes, that's the case.
Is there dependency for live backup? Some components won't, others will?
I can reply to this, I think. No, there is no dependency, but if you have agent available on the machine, you will make a VSS snapshot, but if you don't, it will just make the snapshot.
And then Ashkan, the last question was Ashkan as well. Can we integrate installation of Backroll with Terraform?
Yeah, because we use an install script. You can, I think, completely run it with no. So okay, so okay, my colleague is saying that it may be a little bit complicated for the moment.
I think I'm through questions here, if I read correctly. No one from the audience? Yes, there's still a question here.
You wrote that file recovery is still a goal. Can you elaborate on that? So
okay, so our first try was run by hand by getting the Borg backup and dezipping it, and then restoring the file. So some parts still need to be coded. So this is really the early stages of development of this feature.
Any more questions? A big round of applause then, please.
Thank you.